So today's focus will be on the code management problem. Why code is difficult to manage. So if 10 people are working on the same code, how to manage it, right? That is what the code management problem, right? First what we'll discuss, what is the problem in that, and then we'll see how to solve it, right? And we'll see few terms like the fundamentals of source code management, right? And then we'll see how to work with Git, right? So this problem is solved with the help of a tool called as Git. Git is nothing but a repository that is storing the code in that particular repository, right? And how to store it, who is going to access it, who is going to publish it, how to deploy it, how to release it. All these things we'll see in this third topic. And the fourth topic is it is a combination of all the above three topics, that is continuous integration, right, and continuous delivery, and then continuous deployment, right? These three topics we'll be discussing, right? It's nothing but the DevOps automation, how automation is done after the code is released, after the final product is released, right? So that is what we are going to discuss in these topics. First, in the last class we have seen what is code management, right? So what is a code management? So code management is a set of software supported practices. You are following a practices. Why you are following the practices? To manage the code, right? To manage the code. If 10 people are working simultaneously in the code, how to manage it? Who is going to publish it? Who is going to retrieve it? Who is going to access it? Right? All these things, all these management things is done by the software supported practices, right? That is the example software is Git, right? Git is the example software. Okay. So code management is needed to ensure that changes made by different developers do not interfere each other. I told you, right, just now, if a particular code is accessed or changed by 10 developers, right, how to manage it, right? How to manage the pushing of it or publishing of it, right? Changes made by different developers do not interfere with each other. That is what the process of code management. So to create different product versions, right? If developer 1 is successfully updated and publishing it, it will be made as, say, version 1.1 or 1.0. If another developer is actually changing it and if he is publishing it, it is made as 1.2. Likewise, different product versions can be also created with the help of this code management. Let us see one by one in detail, don't worry. First, let us discuss that code management problem, right? So I don't want to explain this complete text. It will be a very confusing part. So what I thought was, I am planning to, what I did is that this text I have converted into an image or a flow diagram so that you can easily understand. Okay, right? So I am explaining this code management problem with the help of this diagram, right? Fine. Okay. So Alice and Bob, two persons, right? Alice and Bob, both are working in the same company. Okay. So both are working on the same product. The product name is personal finance. I hope you understand. Alice and Bob is working in a same product, right? Same project or same product. Okay. The product name is personal finance, right? Now what happens is that Alice is actually find a bug in a module. What is the name of the module? Tax return preparation, right? Alice find a bug in a module. What module is that? Tax return preparation. Meanwhile, Bob is actually working in the user interface, right? So in the user interface, what he is doing, he is interfacing the module tax return preparation. See, a bug is identified by Alice and she has identified that bug and which module it is, tax return preparation. But meanwhile, what Bob is doing now, he is trying to integrate or adding this module to UI, user interface. Okay, so Bob is also working in the same module. Alice is also working in the same module, right? But the problem here is that bug. This is a bug actually, right? What she is doing, so she is fixing the bug, right? And she's saving it, okay? But what Bob is doing, he is integrating it with UI, making the changes, and he is saving it, and he is deploying it. See, when Alice is saving, meanwhile, Bob is deploying it. Now, Bob deployed the buggy module, right? Bob deployed the buggy module. But what happened though? Alice has fixed the bug and saved here. But Bob, what he has to do, he has to take this file. But the problem is that Bob, he has taken the old file. That is what I put danger here. But actually, Bob has to take this saved file, right? So this is what the problem, a code management problem, right? Both the people, both Alice and Bob are working on the same module, right? So who has to work first and who has to work next, right? And if such situation happens, how to manage it? That we'll see. The solution of this problem we can able to easily manage with the help of a concept called as, or software called as Git. Okay, let us see. I hope you understand this problem, right? Understood,
Yes,
right?
sir.
Okay. Okay. Fine. So now I'll come back to this particular slide later, right? It's just a theoretical part for the examination point of view, right? Let us solve this problem first, right? How to solve this? Okay. So how to solve this? So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to use a software called as Git, right? So this Git is having a main branch, a development branch, right? A main branch and a development branch. All the developers, right? They are maintaining a private branch. Right? They are maintaining a private branch. So what they are doing, each and every developer is taking the code and doing the changes in the private branch. I hope you understand. I'll repeat it. So in the code management, what they are doing is that all the major codes will be available in the main branch. That is, the deployable code will be available in the main branch, right? So from this main branch, what they are doing is that if they want to change the particular code or a module or whatever it is, that code will be made as a copy with the development branch, right? So this development branch, what happens, right? All the developers, what they will do is that they will take a copy of this development branch in their private branch and they'll work on it, right? So once they successfully worked on it, what they will do is that they will deploy it in this private branch. Okay, they will deploy the changes in the private branch, right? Let's say this D3 is actually made the changes and he is the first person and he is the second person, that is D2 is the second person who made the changes. D4 is the third person who made the changes. D1 is the fourth person who made the changes. So this is the order actually, right? Based on this order, it will be merged, right? This blocks will be merged, this code will be merged, and then the merged code will be merged with the development branch, right? So this merging is actually happened with this branches and then it is in the development branch, right? Once the merged code is available in the development branch, this will be merged to the main branch, right? So this main branch will be used for deploying or installing in the client system, right? From this main branch. This is what the simple code management system. Let us see one by one in detail with the help of a live example using GitHub, right? And then we'll again come back to the block, right? This is the block diagram, okay? Fine. So using GitHub, how to manage or how to use the software, let us see that, and then we come back to the theoretical part, right? So what I'm going to do is that I am going to show you a sample code here. Let us say this is actually a repository, right? This is actually a repository, right? I hope you are able to see it. It is a repository, and you can able to see here is that a main branch is there, a development branch is there, and other branches, private branches are there, right? Likewise, main branch, development branch, and new branch. Like this, I have made it main branch, development branch, and the private branches, right? Okay. So when you are working in a company, when you are going to work in a company, right, what they'll do is that they will maintain the repository like this, a main branch, a development branch like this. Okay. So what you will do is that you will take the code from the development branch like this. You will go, just click this development branch. See, now you are in the development branch. Okay, you are there. So this development branch code, you will take a copy of it. How will you take a copy of it? Copy means what? You are going to take a clone of it, right? And then you are storing it in your local repository, right? Fine. I'll I'll do it and I'll show you how to do it, right? Okay. So what is the first step? What you have to do, right? You have to download the Git software from this link. You can easily download it and you can install it, right? Once you installed it, what you will see is that go to the start, right, and type git bash. See, git bash is there, right? You can just click it and you can work on it. Okay, fine. So this is what the software, right? You have to download the git bash software and install it. So this is the link to install, right? Okay. Once you install it, what you have to do is that you have to create a local folder. I mean, create a folder in a local machine, right? Because you are going to clone the code from the company's repository, right? So I'll show you that. What I'm going to do is that I'm going to go to the development branch, click this code. You can able to see a link, right? github.com, Arun Systems, right? Just copy it, right? So the link is copied. Now what you do is that go to the folder which you are going to work. This is what the folder I'm going to work. Create a folder. Let's say the folder name is, say, any git demo class, right? So git demo class. See, this is the folder I've created, right? Open this folder. Now what you do, right click it and then click git bash here. Click this one. You can able to see a command prompt, right? You can able to see a command prompt pointing to the folder. Is it right? See, git demo class. So this is the folder which I am pointing to, right? Now what I have to do is that I'm going to clone the code which is available in the repository, git repository, right? So what is the code? Git, what is the command? Git clone and the link which I copied. Where I copied the link? I have copied the link from here, right? I have copied the link from here, right? Okay. So now I'm going to this git bash, right? I'm going to type git clone, right? Fine. So now what happens, right? I am cloning the code from the repository, right? So cloning into Arun Systems, right? Fine. So now see, git demo class, and here a folder is generated, right? So the code is available here now. The code is available here. This is what the code, the same code is available here, right? Excellent. Okay. Now what you have to do is that, right? Or the next step is that the first step I have cloned successfully. Now what I'm going to do is that I'm going to check out to the development branch, because currently what I'm having, no, what I'm there, no, I'm there in the main branch, right? Let me close this, right? I'll go to the folder. This is the folder I created, right? So in this, Arun system is there, right? Again, go into the folder, right click, and then click this git bash here, right? Now check. You can able to see I am in the main branch. Now I have to go to the development branch, right? That will be the correct way to work on it, right? So in this particular thing, right, you have a main branch and then the development branch, right? So I am pointing to this development branch. So how to do it? Git checkout development branch, right? Git checkout development. So git checkout is the command name and development is the branch name, right? So now please remember, you should not work in the main branch. Main branch is the final code you are having, right? You have to check out to the development branch, right? Press enter. Right? Now see, it is shifted from main branch to the development branch, right? That is what git checkout command is used. Okay, so now you are in the development branch, right? Fine. Again, you should not change the development code because all the other developers is also using the same branch, right? There is a development branch. So for that, what you have to do is that you have to create your own private branch, right? How to create a private branch or your own branch, right? So for that, git checkout hyphen b is for creating a separate branch, right? Hyphen b, my branch. Let's say I'm naming it as my branch, right? Excellent. Okay. So now I'm in the my own branch. That is private branch. Okay. Fine. Okay. Now from here only you have to work everything, right? Now go to the folder, open the file you want to do the changes, right? So I have opened the main file, right? That is I have opened the code file, right? So here I'm going to do the changes. Fine. Okay. Now this is the code I'm having, right? I'm going to do some changes in this code, right? So let's say I'm going to do changes like let's say, okay, I drag the log message. Again, I'm making some info, some message I'm typing, right? Okay. So I made some changes, right? And I've saved it. Okay. Excellent. So now what I have to do is that let me close this. I've made the changes successfully. I tested it. Everything is fine. Now I'm going to close it. Okay. So now here I have to check what is the status now, right? Let me check with git status and then press enter. Now see, a file is modified. It will compare with the repository and your local file, right? It will automatically compare and will say these are the files which is modified, and one more file is also showing, that is the local file. So this is, you should not, you normally the local files are locally generated files, you should not commit it or you should not push it, right? So for that, what you have to do, you have to remove this. For removing this, git checkout, checkout dot local, right? Then press enter. So likewise, it's showing an error. Mm, okay. 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 Better we can remove this. Okay. Now git status. Fine. Okay. Now it is showing only the modified main file, right? So what I did is that I removed that dot local file, right? It's not required to push it to your repository, right? Should not store it to your repository. That is why I have removed it. Okay. Fine. Okay. So now this is the file which I modified. Now what I have to do is that I have to first store or publish in my private branch, right? This modified main XAML. So for that, what I have to do, let me show it. See, what I have did here is that I have checked out with the development branch, and then I checked with the git status, right? So now what I do is that I have to commit it because this is the one I have changed. That is main.xaml I have changed. So what I have to do, I have to commit it. So for committing it, command name is git commit and the file name, right? I'll show you that. Right? So git commit what is the file name? Main.xaml, right? And see, this is the file name. Main.xaml is the file name, right? So you cannot commit simply like it. You have to commit with messages, right? So then only the other users, if they are seeing it, what kind of changes they have done just now or previously, right? They can able to identify it. That is why you have to give a commit messages, right? So -m, then you can give a message like added a log file with message, right? Likewise, you can give a message what are the changes you have done. Like that, you can give a message and then press enter. See, now you have made a commit. You have started. You have initialized a commit. Commit means you are going to store it in your repository. What repository? My branch. That is your private branch, right? You are going to store it. The first step you have done. What is the first step you have done? Git commit, right? What is the next step you have to do? You have to add that file. First you have to commit it, then you have to add it, right? Let me add it. So git add. You can give directly the file name or you can give dot. Dot means it will select what are the file modified and it will add it. Okay. Git add dot. Right. Press enter. Okay. Now it is added. Now check with the status. Git status. Right. So nothing on my branch. Nothing to commit. Right. Working tree is clean. Very good. Okay. Okay. So now you have all the things you have committed. Nothing is committed. Nothing is pending. Is it right? All the things you have committed. Right. What is the file you have committed? Main.xaml. Right. So now what you have to do is that you have to push the code. Push the code where? To your what is that? To your repository. What is the repository you have created? The repository is my branch. Right. So now I'm going to git push, right? Right, git push. You have to give us origin, and then the branch name, right? You have to give us origin and then the branch name. What is the branch name? My branch. Okay. So you are pushing your code, changed code into a branch which is called as my branch, right? My branch is the name I have given. Excellent, right? So now this is the branch I have created and the changes I made is stored inside this branch. Let us check it in the Git repository. Let me refresh it. Go to this, right? Updated 2 minutes ago by Arun Vinod. See my branch, right? This is what? My branch. So in the my branch, I have put all the changed code. The my branch, I have put all the changed code, right? So this is what? To create a private branch, do all the changes from the development branch and push it to the private branch. What is the private branch? My branch, right? Fine. So now what I have to do is that, okay, now it is done. So what the technical members will do, or technical lead will do, that is lead or manager, who will do, or whoever it is, your next boss, right? What he will do is that he'll check your code and simultaneously many person will be working, right? So he'll check it and if it is proper, if it is successful, he will merge with the development code, right? This is what git merge, okay? So what you have to do now, you have to check out to the development branch because it is in your private branch, right? You have to check out to the development branch and then what you have to do is that you have to push the code, okay? You have to push the code. That is, you have to merge the code and then you have to push the code, right? Now, let me do one thing. So git checkout development. See, now I have switched to development branch, right? And now what I'm going to do is that git what is that? I have to merge it, right? I have to merge. Which branch I have to merge? I have to merge this by my branches, right? So let me do one thing, git merge my branch. What I'm doing now, I am merging the my branch with the development branch, right? Okay, fine. Right, BRANCH, fine. So git merge my branch. So now it is merged. Okay, so now I have merged it. Okay, so simply merging is not enough. Once it is merged, right, you have to push it to the development branch, right? So for that, git push command, git push, right? So now it is pushed. Now let us go to this repository and refresh. I'm going to refresh it. See, my branch had recent pushes 3 minutes ago. See, development branch had recent pushes less than a minute ago, right? So it is reflected or it is changed in the development branch successfully, right? Fine. Okay. So now, what are the steps I have done here is that I have created a branch, right? First, I have cloned the code from the repository, created a private branch, right? Created a, sorry, check out the development branch, and then I have created a new branch. I've created a new branch, and from this, what I did, I made the changes from the new branch, right? And then I committed it. Once committed, I have added it, and then I pushed it, right? Then I pushed it to the private branch which I created, and then what I did is that I merged it. Where I am merging it, I'm merging with the development branch. Now I'll go back to the code management block, right? See, main branch is there, development branch is there, and from the development branch, all the developers are creating their own branches, doing all the changes, and then it is merged with the development branch. Okay, this is what is happening in Git, right? This is what is happening in Git. You can try it if possible in your home. I have given all the commands and everything. You please try it in your home. Okay, fine.
Okay.
Okay, fine. Now let us move on to the theoretical part of the thing, right? So code management and DevOps, right? So source code management combined with the automated system building is essential for professional software engineering. Okay, so in companies that use DevOps, a modern code management system is a fundamental requirement for automating everything. See, you are doing a code and you are publishing it or storing it in a repository. From the repository, how it is deployed? From the repository, this is the repository I told. This is the repository I told. How it is deployed, right? That we have to see. Let us see how to do that, right? So this is what the changes I made, so, right? So what I have to do is that I have to create a zip file, let's say, right, system.var, right? So I created a zip file, right? And now what I have to do is that I have to release the code. I have to release the code, right? Just now I have merged it in the development. I have to release it. How to release it? Click here. See here, I have seen previously there were release, that is test release 1.0, right? So from this, what I have to do is that I have to create a new release. See, draft a new release, right? Click this new release, right? Target should be made as development, because you should not having the authority to change anything in the main branch. Only the development branch should be changed, right? So the target should be development branch. Give a release title. So test 1.0 is already given. I'm going to give it as 2.0, right? Or say I'm going to give as, let's say, 1.1. If it is a minor change, I'm going to give it as 1.1, right? Likewise, you can manage. And here you have to give the description of the release, right? So what are the things you have? I have to add. So let's say one, added a log message, right? Log message consisting of demo class details, something like that. So what are the changes you have done? You have to mention this here and then upload the code, right? So where you have done, see, git demo class, upload the code. Right? Fine. So now I upload the code, then publish the release. Okay. I have to give a test release too, right? Okay. Test release 2. Okay. Now I have to give the publish. Okay. Let me do one thing. This done. This done. See, it is uploaded. Yes. So test release 1.1 is there. Oh, this draft. Discard the draft. Let me create a new release. Okay. Target should be development. Right. Then release is 1.1. Then do some give some messages. Let's say changes done with log file. Some message you give it, click it, open it, right, and then publish it. Okay, tag. Yes. Okay. We have they're asking us to create a tag. I created a tag and then publish release. Fine. Now it is successful. Now go to releases. Now you can check. The previous version was 1.0 and the latest version was 1.1. So based on this number, you can easily manage it, right? You can easily manage. You can easily identify when the development branch is actually updated, right? So the version is managed here. Okay. Fine. So if any person is trying to access the code, they can directly take the release. Let's say some person may need the previous release. Simply they can click it and they can download the code, right? So now this is what the concept of releases. Okay. So now here in this case, DevOps automation and measurement tools all interact with the code management system, right? So this automation tool interact with the code management system. How it is actually interacting? It is checking with the code directly, right? Which is the latest code, right? And it is taking it and it is automatically publishing it. That is what the DevOps automation, right? So this is a repository. This repository is managing the code. From this code, automatically it is taking all those files and it is published automatically, right? That is what, so DevOps means what we have discussed in the previous class. Now DevOps means code management, deployment and delivery, all these combinedly called as DevOps, right? That is what we have discussed in the last class, right? Let me show you that. So the DevOps means, what is DevOps? DevOps means it integrates development, deployment and support. All these three will be integrated. That is called as the DevOps. So how the automation is done? These three things will be automated. Once it is developed, how it is deployed. From this deployment, how it is supported. Everything will be automated. That is what is called as DevOps, right? Okay. Now, so in the code management, there are some fundamental terms, right? Let us see that. We have already discussed it, but anyway, we'll again see that. Code transfer. What is a code transfer? Developers take code into their personal file, store it to work on it, and return it to the shared code. That is what we have done, right? Developers take the code into their personal file store. The local machine, what they are doing? They are taking the code from the repository and they are doing the changes in that, right? That is what the code transfer. The next is version storage and retrieval, right? Files may be stored in several different versions. That is what I've shown here. Different versions we are storing it, right? Okay. Files may be stored in several different versions, and specific version of these files can be retrieved. If you want to retrieve the previous versions, you can easily retrieve it, right? That is what the code management. Okay. Merging and branching. Parallel development branches. See, development branches, parallelly you are doing the changes, right? So what you can do is that whenever required, you can easily merge it. Right? Whenever you can easily merge it. That is what parallel development branches may be created for concurrent working. Changes may be developers in different branches may be merged. Right? So concurrent working is possible, and whenever required, you can merge the code. Okay. And then finally, version information. Information about the different versions maintained in the system may be stored and retrieved. Right? That is what I have shown here. Different versions are maintained, stored, and even it is retrieved. Okay. So I hope you can easily relate what is happening in the company or industry, right? So Git is useful for managing your code. So whenever you are getting the training, right, in your if you're joining a company, you will be given train, right? So in the training period, what they'll do is that they won't teach you what is Java, what is C and all. They will teach you how to work in the environment, right? How to work in Git, how to manage the code, how to communicate with other developers, right? How to communicate with your team lead, how to communicate with your manager, right? At which step you have to communicate. All these things will be taught in your training period, right? Fine. Okay. So this PPT you can have the reference, right? And fine. So this is what the code management and DevOps, right? So this code management system, let's say Git, it will be doing all the versioning details, retrieve the previous versions, transfer the code from the developers, right? That is also possible. Branching and merging, all these things we have done, right? So this code management system will be communicated with the automation, DevOps automation. So DevOps automation consisting of continuous integration, continuous deployment, and continuous delivery. You may be asking what are these things? We'll see in the next slide, don't worry, right? So from the code management system, DevOps automation will be done. What is DevOps automation? How it is integrated, how it is deployed, how it is delivered to the user. All these things is actually done in the DevOps automation. And here you can easily measure it. How we are measuring it? You can create a report generation. When it is actually published, when the version 1 is published, when the version 2 is published, what are the changes that has been done? All kind of report generation, you can take it. You can also do the data analysis, right? And then data collection. So all these things can be done with the help of this DevOps measurement. You can easily measure your code management, right? This is what the three things: DevOps automation, code management system, and the DevOps measurement. Right? So now how the problem, I discussed a problem right here, this Alice and Bob, how it is actually solved. Let us see. Right? See, so the code will be available in the project repository, common repository. From here, both Alice and Bob is accessing the code. Right? Alice is doing the changes, Bob is also doing the changes. Right? And in the intermediate, there is a team leader or say manager. His name is, let's say, Charlie. Right? So Charlie's private repository is there. So what this Alice and Bob will do, they will send the code to this Charlie's private repository. Right? Bob will also send the code to the Charlie's private repository. So whenever this happens, he will decide which is to be published first. Right? So if there is a problem in Bob's code, what this Charlie will do is that Charlie will publish the code of Alice in the GitHub project repository, and he will ask Bob to do the changes based on the current updated project repository. Right? That is what your code management, GitHub code management. This is one way. Another way is that automatically you can do it. How it is done? if you are going here, if you are going to, let's say, the main branch, it will ask for, see, development has recent pushes, compare and pull request. What is that pull request? See, if simultaneously 10 people are working, or more than 10 people are working in a particular code, if you are publishing the code in the development branch, right, it will automatically ask for pull request. So if you are clicking this pull request, what you can do is that you can give the details here, and then you can mention to the target developers, this is the change I have done, please use the latest code of the development. Likewise, you can give send a message, or what you can do is that you can just give a command like this. This is the command you can give. See, if the others are using the development branch, then go for pull request command as follows. Just give git pull. So this git pull, what it will do, if simultaneously many persons are working in the same code, it will send the message to the corresponding developers who is working on the same code. And then what they will do is that they will pull the code, and they will update the code, right? Because before publishing it, they have to update it, and then you have to what is that? Push it, right? That is what git pull. Okay, so this is what the concept behind pull request. Okay, fine. So now, what are the features of source code management system? We have already discussed that. Anyway, I will just list out it. Version and release identification. You can easily identify the release versions, right? And you can also easily manage the versions, right? And you can do history recordings. You can check out what are the history things happened previously, right? And independent development also it is done. Project support is also done, right? Storage management is also done, right? It's because this is a repository, right? You are doing the storage management. Right? All the codes are stored, right? And all the release codes are also stored. See, these are the release codes I have stored, right? I can easily download it. See, I can easily download it, right? So likewise, you can easily merge, you can easily do the management of storage, right? That is also possible here. Okay. So now the last one is, you may be asking, sir, what is this continuous integration, continuous deployment, continuous delivery? You see that. So in this continuous integration, each time a developer commits a change to the project master branch, an executable version of the system is built and tested, right? So whenever a change is happened in the master branch, what is that master branch? So here I've shown, right, main branch, right? This is the master branch. If you are merging your main branch, if you are making a copy in the main branch, so in the DevOps concept, what they will do is that they will automatically take the code from the master branch, that is the executable version of the system, and then it is automatically tested. Everything is automatic, right? That is what continuous integration. What you are doing, you are taking the code from the master branch and testing it. If a new change happens in the master branch, again it is taken and it is tested. That is what continuous integration. What is continuous delivery? A simulation of the product's operating environment is created and the executable software version is tested, right? So when you are delivering the product, right? So whenever there is a change, right, the same thing happens. What is that? Versioning of your software. That is testing of the version software, right? That is what continuous delivery. Continuous deployment means a new release of the system is made available to the users every time a change is made to the master branch, right? So users means what? Your clients. Whenever a change is happened and it is tested successfully, that release will be sent to the users, that is made available to the users every time a change is made, right? This is what the DevOps automation, right? So three things are there: continuous integration, automatically taken the code executable version from the master branch or the main branch; continuous delivery, right? The version is tested and made available for the development, and deployment. In the continuous deployment, what you are doing, you are sending the code to the users. So all these three things can be automatically done. So you may be asking, sir, what is there in this infrastructure as a code? Sometimes you will be deploying it in the cloud. Sometimes you will be deploying it in the network, right? That is what infrastructure as a code. That is also, it is possible to automate, right? Fine. So that's all about the topic, right? Let me stop the recording.